Welcome back to MFO, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. We're down here in the barn with, this guy, Ken Winston. He's been around for quite a while. And if you remember, it was about a month or so ago, a couple of months ago, we were out on Lake Geneva. Ken was showing me the live scanner that he's got on my boat. Well, guess what? I'm running live scanner this year. So I roped him into teaching me how to rig it. Now that you taught me how to use it, now I need to figure out how to install it on my boat. But I will tell you this, guys, if you're even remotely thinking about getting yourself a live scanner, you need to watch this video and hang on to this video, because when it comes to installing these, I could not have installed this thing without your help, having done it before. There are a few other videos on YouTube that show how to install it, but if you have a Quest, an Ultrex Quest, we're going to show you exactly how to install this.
Right.
Not a lot of installation instructions.
That is, if there's one drawback or one negative thing I could say about it, is their instructions aren't as good as they can be. But what they do tell you is to say, go on YouTube and look for other people that have done some.
And I got to be honest, I'm a visual learner, so I love watching a video. To me, it's a lot better when somebody is holding the part and saying, this is the blank, and as opposed to a drawing or, diagram A, diagram B, put diagram B in the diagram A. It doesn't work for me. So, guys, stick around. We're going to show you, give you a complete parts list and show you how we installed this on the boat so that I'm ready to roll here.
Sounds good.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right, welcome back to Mark Fisher Outdoors, everybody. I'm Mark Fisher. Ken Winston's with me, and let's start, Ken, by doing a parts list. If you can, I'll kind of be the cameraman here. You talk about the parts and the actual name of the part, and that way people will know when we're referring to it as we're installing it what the part is.
Fair enough.
Okay, so there aren't a ton of parts here when it comes to you. So let's just start over here. What is this piece called? And
yeah, so this is called their swing mount. This is a relatively new part that they have, which is great. They've made it so that once it is installed, if you're traveling or if you need to
put your cover
on or something, it allows you to swing it out of the way.
So it's adjustable there with that.
It's adjustable here.
Gotcha. That used to be a fixed.
It used to be fixed.
Right. Okay. So that's your swing mount.
That's your swing mount over here.
What we got here?
So this is your stabilizer gear, which is what helps it become a quad scanner and such. But we'll show you how to install this. If there's anything that's more difficult to install or to figure out, it's this unit here, but we'll show you how to do that.
So I'm assuming that this end is going to go to the actual live scope turret. This end is going to go out because you can see it comes apart, and that's going to go around the shaft of the trolling motor.
Well, just the opposite.
Oh.
This is going to go to the shaft of the trolling motor.
Okay.
Yep. This is going to go on the shaft of the trolling motor, and we'll show you how that works. And there is another unit.
Is that so that when you've got it out of sync mode, it follows it?
Yes. This engages and disengages when you want it to scan back and forth or sync to your trolling motor. So this is what does it. So once and
I'd have been rigging that one up back.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's just the opposite.
And then you got your foot pedals, which we know about.
Yep.
The head,
the head unit. Yep. This is your head unit. They made some changes on the head unit. Some very good positive changes. Some of the wire location used to be on the back of the head. Now it's on the bottom. It just allows you to run your wires a little bit cleaner. Your shaft that attaches to your head unit.
And then you got a bolt-up kit.
Yep.
And then this is I know that they a lot of guys will get remotes. I ended up getting, this attaches to your rod or can, I don't know that I remember, but it kind of works as the remote, correct?
Correct. That's your remote here.
And this is, correct me if I'm wrong, and again, I'm learning as I'm going, but this is considered a quad.
This is the quad scan. So,
Quad scan.
So this unit, this is their cat's meow right over here. I mean, this thing does everything compared to the other units that they have. So you can actually scan either just on the left side of the boat, the front of the boat, right side of the boat, or scan completely left and right.
Gotcha.
So hence the name quad scan.
Gotcha. And then we've got one more piece here.
And this is your sync module. This is what attaches to this piece here, and electrically it connects to the bottom of the head unit as well. And this is what allows it to be activated to either be synced to your trolling motors. So in other words, if you don't want to just control your transducer with the foot pedal, you can go just like what you typically do with your trolling motor, the initial installation where you're just moving your trolling motor.
And it follows
and
your
it
trolling
follows your trolling motor back and forth, which is a beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, it was. Remember, that was the feature of this turret system that I thought was the reason to do this.
Yeah.
All right, let's actually, unless you have anything else, let's actually start
let's
putting things on. Okay.
Fair enough. Let's do it.
All right. Okay, so the first step of our installation, we've got our. Tell me again what that's.
And this is our swing bracket.
Swing bracket.
Okay.
Right now, that's opposite. You're going to turn that the other way, so it's going to face up.
Yep, face
and
up.
Show us where that's going to get
So
mounted.
we're going to use the same bolts for your bounce bar.
Right.
Right. We're just going to remove this.
Those will be
This
there.
Will be yep, and this will be sandwiched in between there, as well as we're
Just
going.
lay it
So,
on there and
yes.
show us. Yeah.
So, as well, this is how it's going to go.
And so here, if you move this away for a second, we've got these two holes that are already in our Quest, and then the hardware and spacers. These spacers are provided so that those spacers are going to go in there, and then it's going to get bolted on with those bolts.
Correct.
All right, so let's get
that
on to that.
Yep.
So if you take a look at what we've done here, we've actually, when it gets down to it, when you end up putting the spacers in between this, that actually made it so that on this side, the mount itself had to go on the outside of that bounce bar that we had. We took the bar off just to make it easier, but so you see that we're on the outside. We didn't sandwich it.
We didn't sandwich it as we thought we would, but
that makes it so that this is parallel and running. Sorry, my camera's zooming in, but it's running, exact. Otherwise, it would be kind of crooked.
Yep.
So let's tighten this up, and then we'll move on to the next step.
Sounds good.
All right, so the next part of the install here is putting the head on. I want to just, this unit had, what did you call this again? This is our swing.
This is our swing bracket.
Swing bracket, and it had two bushings. Here, you've already put that on.
So what's important with your bushings, as you remove this from here, as you saw, the two nuts were over here. Underneath those nuts already installed is the bushing. So what you have to make sure you do is you remove this, slide that up, install the bushing. But the key thing is the tapered edge goes towards the head unit, the threaded part.
And then what we're going to do is you're going to go ahead and show us. I'm going to take that part off just for now. The bushing is on the inside.
Yep.
Now show us what's happening
you
here.
slide that puppy in. We'll come up with the length at a later date, but you slide that in. Make sure that's seated nicely and straight in here, and then you put your nut on, which seals this beautifully. And it's there. It's not moving.
Well, let's go into loosen that, and let's go into how are we going to decide where that head is going to be?
Well, what's interesting is, as you know, for your trolling motor, the trolling motor head swings back and forth as
Right.
you steer the boat. So depending on your specific installation, it's either going to be, the head is either going to be above
Right.
this head, so it has room to swing. As you can see, you have the clearance to swing, or it will be below it.
Yeah, and we're going to put it below it. I'm
So-
not confident that
Right.
that head is going to swing even with the
Right.
pull. So if we put it below, now you can go ahead and tighten that. And again, the head of the trolling motor swings. This head does not swing.
Does not.
The only thing that turns on your turret is the arrow, the directional
Correct,
arrow.
correct.
This head stays stationary.
Correct.
All the time.
All the
Okay.
time.
So
All the
now
time.
you've got that bushing tight, and now we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing, running it this way.
Absolutely.
To get it with the
tapered edge
going
first.
towards the
head of the
cap.
unit.
Right, the head of the unit. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got our head unit on.
The next, and we tightened up the nuts. Everything is in place. The next thing is to install the shaft. In order to do that, you're loosening up the nuts,
Sleeve
the
there.
sleeve
Yep.
over here, so it slides over. And once you slide that puppy in, as far as it can go, which I believe that's it. The two shafts are touching. And then we tighten this back down.
Okay, that's going to bring our rod down right about even with where the current mounting
Yes.
deal is. Okay, let's get that tightened up.
Okay.
Okay, so we've tightened up our shaft. Now what's next, Ken?
So what's next is now we're going to install a stabilizer mount to the trolling motor shaft, as well to the shaft of your new unit. So in order to do that, we're going to have to remove these, take this apart, which we'll show you, to attach this. It's a little involved. There's a whole bunch of small screws. I think there's 8 screws on this side. There's 8 screws on that side. We'll get into that. Little tedious, but that is the next move.
Okay.
And
Yeah, and we
you
got
start.
the 2 there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you start out by removing these 2 screws here, which removes this. That's the 3
Allen,
millimeter
right.
Allen wrench. Allen wrench. Remove this, and we'll go from
Okay,
there.
let's get into that.
Move these 8 little screws, Phillips head screws, on both sides, so we can get this piece out of there.
All right, so Ken, you've taken off with this, and you've taken off the 8
The 8
screws
screws,
that were on both sides, or just the one side?
both sides.
Both sides. So now show us what there was
So
an
there's
important point.
just a little point that I want to bring out. As you see these 2 pieces, I didn't remove that on the other side. Is you see the seam here? I still have to do the screws on the opposite side. You see this seam here? When you reinstall this, you got to make sure that you
cross
the seam, as opposed to when you install it. It's very
Yeah.
easy to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, right.
Because you've not done
You're not.
It's still going to come apart.
Right,
so
right.
just a quick little note,
Right.
just to remember. So, and then once you flip it over,
We gotta do the same
you've got to
thing
do
there.
the same thing on this side.
Okay.
Yep. So now that we've removed the screws for the retaining clips, this part comes apart, and we bring that.
Well, let's
Oops, sure.
put those together for a second. You notice there's a distinct shape. It's got a flat edge here and a rounded edge. That's going to tell us when we go over to our shaft of the Quest exactly how to mount it on
Right.
that flat side.
So this would be your flat side. Slides right over there, beautifully. And this is the rounded side. So what we'll do is we'll put the retaining clips back on this side, and the gear side will be in front, facing towards the head of the trolling motor.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And we're doing it so that it's in line with the thicker part of the shaft, so that when the arm goes on there, it's going to go around the thicker part of the
Yes,
shaft.
not the silver,
but the black.
Okay. Or here's where the two pieces meet. There's that seam. So we're going to make sure that we don't take the gear and put it like this. We're going to put the gear and we install it so it's going across the seam.
Yep. All right, so we've attached the gear head on the top. Remember, the gear head goes towards the head of the unit. Now we're going to put the retaining clips on the back. And again, we're going to cross those give me one of those, Ken, just to show. We're going to go across. You see the opening there? So the retaining clip is going to go across those like that. All right, Ken?
Yep.
All right, so now we've got our retaining clips on the back. So we got our gear head on the top, retaining clips on the back. Now what, Ken?
Okay, so next move is to install this puppy. Here's an important point. They installed a white dot here on that side. The white dot needs to face upwards, towards the head of the trolling motor.
Okay.
Where that white dot goes. So again, these two pieces that we had would install like this and put in, and you put the screws that we removed together, which I'll show you in a second.
All right, so we've taken our stabilizer arm. That's the right term, right, Ken?
Mm-hmm.
And we've loosely attached that, and now we're attaching, here's the Allen wrench for that, and we're attaching it to the turret itself. Right now we've loosened this so that it's we'll tighten all of that up after we get everything attached.
And you can always just put it in place like that, make life a little easier.
All right, we're gonna get things tightened down here and we'll go on to the next step. All right, so we've got our stabilizer arm completely mounted. These are all in here, our retainer clips, our arm, and on both sides. All right, what's next, Ken?
All right.
All right, so this is important, Ken. So this is our sync module, and in order to install it, we have to separate it again, just like most of the other things. There's Allen screws on either side. So let's get that separated, and then we'll show how this gets mounted, because it's very important that we mount this correctly.
Correct.
Okay, so one important part to notice when you mount the sync module, this side of it has got 4 different holes. For the Ultrex, we had to use the 2 left-hand holes in order to mount the sync module. In other words, what you want, guys, is you want it to end up mounting like that. If we had set it up where you use the center holes, that would have set it up like this, and it would not have, because of the trolling motor that we have, it would not have worked. So you got to set it kind of on an angle so that when the trolling motor goes down, which it's in that down position now, this gear doesn't end up hitting your trolling motor. So we've got it offset, and now we're just those gears are gonna line up, and we're gonna get this mounted like that, okay? The other thing to point out is, since we are going to be mounting our transducer onto the rod, we don't need to line these up now. If we had put the transducer on already, then we'd have wanted to actually turn the gear so that it was lined up with our arrow and do all of that kind of stuff.
Right. So in other words, exactly, Mark is correct. So what you would have to do in order to do what he's saying, you would actually have to power the unit up, right? Now, that would be with the assumption that your transducer is already attached to the pole, and instead of having the adjustments here, a lot of these 0-degree transducers slide onto the pole, but you really can't adjust it. So one of the best ways to do that, once it's installed, once you power this up, you can now make the adjustments by turning this gear, and it also will
changes
your head
right.
arrow and everything, and that's just for perfect adjustment.
Right.
But we don't have to do that because we're going to be using this mount, the Garmin 34 mount, and we're going to be placing it over here, so we can
right.
adjust it any way we want.
Okay, let's get this sync module hooked up. All right.
Okay, once you have it installed, like we just did, you actually now have to plug it in to the head of the unit. And you line up the detent here. There we go. There we go.
Okay, so that's wired up. We'll get this duct taped on or
electrical tape.
Yeah. Right, that's what I meant,
place.
electrical tape, right.
And we'll do that, and we'll clean that up.
Right, we'll get these things cleaned up.
So what I would...
We need to move now, I believe, to powering this unit, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so now so we need to wire this into the power of the boat, right, Ken?
Correct. It's already got a fuse built into this. I believe it might be a 3-amp fuse. Everything is contained right here in the head. So all the module and everything is actually built in. The brains of it is built in. At one point in time, they had a separate box that was located outside of the boat. But anyway, very simple. Just black to black, red to red, and you're all set. So let us get into here and get that done.
Let's go find some power.
Yeah.
All right, so while Ken is finishing, we took the access panel off the bow of the boat to be able to get to the power. We actually ran wire to our fuse box, which is in the rod locker, and kind of ran it up and underneath the deck. And now our power is coming out of here and is going there, and you can see we have power to our unit. All right, so we're powered up and we're close to being in alignment. I may have some adjustments to do, but you can see that our arrow is in line with our trolling motor and our transducer. I think that transducer needs to be adjusted a little bit, but we're in line. So now as I use this, the trolling motor or the transducer goes back and forth, and then I can sync it up to where if I push these buttons twice, click, click, now when I turn the trolling motor, it will move just with the trolling motor as well. So I think we got it. One other thing that I do want to talk about. Right now I've got my Garmin transducer mount on, the same one that I had on the trolling motor. I also have this 0-degree mount that I got from Live Scanner. I'm not sure which one I'm going to ultimately use. If I use this one, I'm gonna need to cut the rod so that it can mount at the same location. Right now I've got this here. I'll probably need to cut that rod either way. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get out on the water, check it out, see what I like. This is that 3-degree and this is a 0-degree. So I'm gonna make, I'm gonna actually kind of check them out and see how it is and see what I like about it or don't like about it. And then I'll determine which one I'm gonna use. So that probably is another video that will get into after I kind of do some on the water checking at that point. All right, well, we got her done. I think the wiring was that took the most time, because we kind of, based on the way my boat was wired up, we actually went all the way over to the fuse box.
Right.
But otherwise, it wasn't that difficult of a setup. I will say it wasn't that difficult because you've done it before.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We are going to work with Live Scanner to get them to put some instructions in the units, but I don't know if I said this earlier in the video or not, but I work off of YouTube videos, instructional YouTube videos, the best. I'm hoping that what we just did here is an instructional video that Live Scanner uses, and you just come to if you get a Live Scanner and you have a Quest, it's different for different.
Yeah.
You know, if you got
a Ghost or something, it's a little different.
It's a different install. But if you've got a Quest, this is the video to watch, and hopefully we helped out in terms of giving you the step-by-step, the parts list, everything you need to know. I can't wait to get on the water in a week and check it out.
You're gonna love it. I tell you, I absolutely love it. They knocked it out of the park with this. Again, like we said earlier, when we were out on the water in my boat, I did a lot of research trying to figure out what's the best unit out there, and I feel this is the best unit. Live Scanner is it. But like we said earlier, where I believe they dropped the ball was the instructions. There is not much instruction.
But then not anymore, because we just gave the instructions.
There you go. There you go.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. We will see you again tomorrow on another episode of Mark Fisher Outdoors. Ken, thank you so much for helping me.
Oh, you're very
never could have done it without you.
Well, I'm sure you could.
I appreciate it. Take care, everybody.
Thanks.